Hey, what's happening, everybody? What's happening? Um, Good to be back with everybody. I know it's been a while since I've been making my YouTube. Man, just really taking a kind of a vacation, taking a break, getting other things done. But tonight, I got a very serious topic to talk with everybody, man, about stuff that can be avoided. There was what I think is an unnecessary death that happened in Colombia, Barranquilla, specifically. That man just really could have been avoided. And I see guys coming down here doing the same moves that this other expat did when he moved to Colombia. What's going on, Xavier? What's happening, Marquise? Traveling things. What's going on? What's going on? Happy universe. What's up? What's up? Stefan, what's up? Extreme. Yeah, man, I'm gonna tell you this death of this expat, this American brother, man, was just so freaking avoidable. Just so freaking avoidable. So I thought it was worth talking about. It's been probably maybe 7 or 8 weeks ago. I just hadn't felt like doing any broadcast for the moment, but we're gonna get into it tonight. I'm feeling energy. I'm feeling energetic again. In Atlanta right now at my brother's house. So, getting some things done. So let's jump into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this brother. He actually just started a YouTube channel. So he moved it. So this let me give you a brief summary. The brief summary is he met a young lady online. I guess he had been considered moving to overseas. He finally did it. He brought an apartment. Actually brought an apartment house. I mean, not apartment house, but apartment complex. I guess it had about 3 or 4 apartments in it, plus a restaurant. Just dealt with from listening to other interviews he's done, kind of shaky people. And listen to one interview he did with somebody, man, just not feeling, solid about it. And, I just think, like I said, I think it was something that could have been avoided. But I'm going to let the brother tell you a little bit about himself. So let me go ahead and cue this up. And you can see the brother for yourself. So let me go ahead and cue this up. All right, so this is the brother right here. He had a YouTube channel called Q Read. So this is one of the things that he had put out. This happened maybe a week or two. Well, I think about 2 weeks, from my understanding, before his death.
But as of today, all I need to now is go and find me a place and start setting up for business and making money here in Colombia. And I did it in less than a month, y'all. Less than a month, I almost got everything organized. I'm going to buy me a building. I am not going to rent. I'm going to buy in a minute a building. I'm speaking into existence right now. So stay tuned when I buy my restaurant. And it's going to be fire, y'all. It's going to be fire. So when y'all come to Carnival, y'all make sure y'all come and visit Q Spicy Ribs and Fish here in Barranquilla, Colombia. And hey, soul food in Colombia. That's what's.
All right. So you can see that the brother had just got down to Barranquilla, Colombia, met some chick. My understanding online from my little bit of research that I've done about it. And I guess she had found him the place to rent his spot. Was helping him out. He was dealing with the direct owner. He wasn't dealing with he wasn't dealing with any realtors. From just, like I said, other interviews. And he was saying that how he wasn't really trusting the person that much, which of course for me is an automatic red flag. is an automatic red flag. You know, if you are not really trusting somebody, man, you know, always listen to that sixth sense. Always listen to that sixth sense. So the story goes, so he finally did find a place. The place had renters in it. He had like 2 or 3 renters in it. So he put two people, he had put 2 families out. He had another spot that he had took, I guess, from one of the people that was staying in the building. And he had one more family to get out of the building. The other building had had a restaurant, and he was basically ending the lease of the person who had the restaurant in that building that it was connected to his building that he brought. He went down there, spent about $200,000, and was killed shortly after that. First, they were saying that the brother was flossing, and that they robbed him for a gold chain. Well, if you take a look at this dude, right? If you take a look at this guy, I mean, honestly, you know, seriously, does this look like the type of dude who would be out there flossing? I mean, seriously, does this look like the type of dude that'll be out there flossing? I mean, you can see, sure, he got like a little thin gold chain on, but this brother does not look like the type of guy that's out in Barranquilla, Colombia, doing any type of flossing. But where he made his mistake is, one, dealing with the owner directly, and then he did not even purchase in a good neighborhood. I got my boy Andre coming on with me in a little while. He lives there in Colombia, so he knows a little bit more about the story. So I'm gonna ask him to go into it when he gets in. But the guy was not in a good neighborhood. I don't know how long he knew the chick, but I could promise you they probably didn't know her that long. You're dealing with the owner, right? So the owner, I guess, is owner seller, which there's nothing wrong with if you know who the hell you're selling it to, right? So, and then it was occupied. It was occupied with a restaurant. It was occupied with people, and they were all family members of the owner. So this American guy comes in, buy the building, shuts down the restaurant, those 2 family out, got one more family he needs to put out. I mean, that's just a recipe for disaster. Then you move into, you buy a building that's in not the greatest of neighborhood. You don't speak Spanish. I mean, man, it's just like one red flag after another red flag after another red flag after another red flag. But let me say hello to my boy. What's up, Jay? How you doing, man? A drink on me. I appreciate it. Appreciate the super chat, brother. Appreciate the $5. But I'm in America. Drinks here cost $20. I'm just messing with you, man. But I mean, I've had a few drinks since I've been here. One at the airport, that was like $18. And let me see, I was at Outback today, and that was like $9. So I don't see how y'all go out and do a whole lot of drinking in America. I really don't. What's up, Cool Cat? All right. I don't think you realize how many people you have saved from this crazy situation by providing content such as this. You're truly a blessing. Keep up the good work. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, but what's happening? What's happening with yourself, man? Life lesson. That's what I'm trying to tell people tonight. First of all, it's never a good idea to move somewhere that, one, you have to depend on somebody. And that's why I shared my journey. When I moved to DR, I didn't know a whole lot about the North Coast. I'll be the first to tell you, I did not know a lot about the North Coast, but I depended on me. And I formed relationships first, not with locals. I formed relationships with more expats. I formed more relationships with people who were there experiencing DR for themselves. I form more relationships with people who, because I would ask, man, are you on vacation? Do you live here? You're on vacation, you live here. And people that told me they live there, that's who I was forming the relationships with. Because I know that the chicas or the guys on the motor conchos or the guy that you go in there and buy your groceries, they lie to you quick because it's all about getting that money. It's all about getting that money. So that's why I even, when I went in Century 21, the first thing I did is I told the receptionist, I do not want a Dominican realtor. I said, no, I don't mean any disrespect, but I told her I wanted somebody, an expat who went through this experience that I'm going through. I said, because a Dominican cannot tell me the experience of moving abroad and starting and buying property and just starting new. I told them because in a few years I will be moving here, but right now I'm just buying property, and I want somebody who was in my shoes once, taking me through that experience and sharing that. But you don't ever, and I see dudes do this all the time. They meet some random chick, and they let her do everything. They say, I'm gonna get you a lawyer. I'll find the building for you. I'll find the house for you. You can trust this person. You barely know the girl, but yet you trusting her whole family or her family members or her cousin, because it's always family. It's never like, oh, that's a friend of mine. It's always family. I promise you, it's always family. It's always family. Now, whether they family by blood or family by love or family by money, that's a whole nother wrap. So what's up, Dennis? So sorry to hear about this brother. If you're going to do business in these countries, don't broadcast it on social media. $200,000 is about 695 million pesos in a poor country. Stay safe. Absolutely. Hey, Miss Felicia, I ain't seen you in a while. How you doing? What's up, fitness travel? But you cannot, I'm gonna tell you, man, you are insane. You are out of your mind if you think you're going to go into a country, right? First of all, you have no representation except your money. You have no representation. He did not have an attorney. He did not have a real estate agent. He only had this dude who he was doing business with, who in an interview, he said he did not feel comfortable about. That's a stone red flag. And you giving this person 200,000 US dollars. 200,000 US dollars. I mean, I have the footage where after the guy was shot, just laid out in the street, pants halfway down. I don't know how that happened, because there's another shot that I have that I'm not going to put on YouTube, because this person has family members and I want to respect his family members. But he's just kind of just laid out in the street, and it's just insane. But I got my boy Andre. I got my boy Andre in the house. Y'all know Andre from Love Crossing Borders and Love Crossing Borders TV. So he has 2 channels, and his beautiful wife, she has a channel. So if you don't know Andre, he's a money man. He's doing his thing. He's the money man. He's a cat that if you want to know how to do YouTube and make serious money, this is a good mentor for you. This is an excellent mentor for you. Like I said, I do it for a hobby. I do it when I want. That's why last time y'all saw me on YouTube was some odd weeks ago. But Andre, he's about business. I get a lot of my cryptocurrency tips from him, and he's never been wrong. So, and I'm happy for that. So, like I said, check brother out at Love Crossing Borders or Love Crossing Borders TV, and get some tips from this brother, because he will not steer you wrong. He has been tailor-made certified. But Andre,
here we go.
So we were talking about the brother Q Reed, And that's the name of his YouTube channel, Q Reed.
Oh, Timothy. Yeah, Timothy Reed.
Right. And he moved to Barranquilla. He met a girl online.
Yes,
He
he
moved
did.
to Barranquilla. Did not have any representation. He said, because he said in the video, the vlog, that he was dealing with the guy directly with the building, and the building that was occupied, putting out families. Here comes this American putting out families, closing a restaurant downstairs in a bad neighborhood, giving somebody $200,000. I mean, honestly, if you listen to that, that sounds like a recipe for disaster.
Yes. Yes. Well, and you know, the sad part is, we're doing a live stream tomorrow called "Does Kevin Samuel's Principles Work When You're Traveling?" In other words, are you a high value man? And I was talking to some guys earlier, and actually, even if you don't think that you're high value, before you get off that plane coming to Colombia or DR, somebody else is looking at you like you're high value, looking at your money because it is worth more. So you may look at yourself like you're a regular everyday dude, 9-to-5 guy. Soon as you get off that plane, there's somebody else tripling your money in their mind. And so you cannot make the moves that you would normally make that if you were in the States. In other words, how can I word this? You just got drafted to the NFL. You can't go to the same spots that you were hanging in Atlanta after you get drafted in the NFL and you worth 22 million. You can't do that now. You got to have security now. You got to have an entourage. You got an advisor. You got people to help you out to maneuver through the streets. Because if you get caught in the streets, somebody steal your Rolex. They know you got drafted. Somebody go for your pockets. It's the same concept when you get off that plane, especially here in Colombia. Somebody's looking at you as an NBA draft, a come up, and she batting her eyes. But many of the women here have great careers, but the women that guys usually go for are the women that live in the slum areas. So now you in the slums, now you're in the poor areas, and you get caught up like that brother did. He had nobody to give him advice, the proper advice. First advice I would have gave him was realize you've been drafted. In their eyes, you are just like an NFL, NBA draft person because you are a walking ATM machine to them.
Absolutely. And then the thing is, he did not speak the language.
No.
And I'm gonna tell you, not speaking the language. Now you can move to another country and not speak the language and get along very well, but you can't roam that country like you see the locals do. Like there's certain places in Dominican Republic, even in Puerto Plata, certain barrios, I'm not gonna go to. I'm just not gonna go to. I live there. I know how to roll when I get there. But the thing is, I don't, if somebody's talking about killing you and you standing right there in front of them, you won't even know the word for kill. You won't even know if they say you muerte, kill.
Right.
Absolutely correct. You don't know how to say the word or you the help. There's things that you don't know, but you're going to just, go out of blind faith, and you cannot do that. And especially when somebody knows you gave somebody $200,000, and then you putting families out of their apartments, and you're not in the best neighborhood, and you got one person to depend on, this chick who you met online, probably you haven't known 6 months.
If you ever want to see a textbook example, sadly, rest in power, brother Timothy. But if you want to see a textbook example of how not to do it when relocating to another country, he did it textbook perfectly on what not to do. He was impatient. He rushed everything within a 5-month period. I've been living in Colombia for 3 years, and I'm just looking at land. I'm just hiring a tutor to tutor me for my Spanish, because you're absolutely correct. You want to be fluent, if only for business or just to roam the city. Just purchase the vehicle. So I don't want to get stopped by the police, just on a ticket and not know what the heck the police officer is saying. So all this instills, in patience. That's the first thing that he wasn't. Within a 5-month period, he came to the country, met a girl, moved in the hood, bought property in the hood, got and got shot in 5 months.
Wow. And then they was first trying to say, well, first of all, let me give a shout out to my boy SPK Lifestyle. Thank you very much, brother. Stay safe and vigilant. Yes, sir. Definitely trying to do that. I'm trying to not catch this COVID while I'm over here in America.
I know, right?
Yeah, but I mean, that's crazy. 5 months is not a long time.
No,
not
as you will know.
No. And if I go back to the guys, video, let me pull it back up. You hear what he said? He says, I got this, I got that, and I'm getting ready to buy the buildings. But hold on, I'm gonna let it come from his words from his mouth. Because I mean, he just did, man, so many moves that there's just no way in hell that I would have moved anywhere near how this brother moved. No. Rest in peace, brother. But hold on, let me do this.
And he had the one thing about him also, Russ, he has such a great friendly personality from the videos you saw. You know, he was good dude.
Really good.
That's a different story. But as of today, all I need to now is go and find me a place and start setting up for business and making money here in Colombia. And I did it in less than a month, y'all.
Hold on. You said 5 months. He said he did it less than a month.
That's when he first got there. Now he got there in December. That video is in right around January when he first opened up his bank account with Banco Colombia. And I have a bank account with them. And it took me, you know, it wasn't hard, but you had to have, you know, proof that you either owned a business or worked for yourself, those type of things. So he came. I mean, what he wanted to do was he did it correctly. What he wanted to do, how he went about it was incorrect. That's what hurt him. The fact that he didn't have anybody there. Like when I went to the bank, Andrea was there. She made sure that, even though I had an English speaker at the bank, she made sure that the paperwork was correct. So even if you have an English speaker that's at the bank that can speak to you, you still can't read the paperwork if you don't know fluent Spanish. So she was there to make sure that everything that I signed at the bank was legit. Notice he walked out the bank basically by himself. Maybe the person that was holding the camera was the person that helped him out, but he just did everything too fast. He met the girl online, didn't know her from a can of paint. I often tell people this: just because you're cool with the person in the household or inside the house doesn't mean you're cool with the people in the neighborhood. They may be looking at you like the new dude. You know how it is, Russ. You know, you moved to a new city when you were like the young kid and you're the new kid on the block and all the girls like you, blah, blah, blah. And people watch you. When you're the new face on the block, people amplify you. And once again, you get off the plane and you already high value, if only in their mind.
Yeah. All right. So let's take a look at some of these comments. All right. So Fred says, telling me you put 10K on a condo on the first day in Sosua. First of all, I didn't put 10K on a condo in Sosua. So if you're going to quote my history, let's get a couple of facts straight. When I brought my condo, I came to Sosua on a Wednesday. I decided to buy my condo that Friday. I didn't call people out the blue, or I didn't ask no chick that I met online to find me a place. I went to 2 real estate offices. I went to one real estate office and I did not like the vibe, so I immediately walked out. I saw the sign that said Century 21. I went to Century 21 office, as I explained in the video earlier, and I said, I told the lady at the desk, I mean no disrespect, but I would like to speak to a real estate agent that is not Dominican. Because I wanted somebody that I had shared experiences with. I wanted somebody who they moved down there and they have went through this before, because you talking about a lot of money. And my condo didn't cost $10,000. I wish I could have got it. It was actually cost $56,500. And that's a lot of money to wire to Dominican Republic or anywhere else and not know that your money is safe. So I actually, when I went to Hannah, Hannah even introduced me to the attorney that I would be wiring to the money. So it was Juan Berdimo's office. At the time, Juan Berdimo, who is an attorney, and Juan Berdimo was still working his office. We don't do his office now, it's just name only. But I asked around town before I left. I was there for about 6-7 days. And I went into different bars, talked to owners. I was asking about Juan Berdimo. Is he a shiesty attorney? And everybody like, no, you can trust him. I've done a lot of business with him. He's well known throughout the town. So I did my due diligence. Yes, I moved fast, and I even tell people, don't move as fast as I did. But you got to remember, I'm used to traveling around the world. I've been traveling around the world since I was 23 when I went into the military. So I was traveling around the world. I wasn't moving it. I didn't put families out. I wasn't closing business. And I certainly wasn't moving into a bad neighborhood. And I certainly did not let some woman show me the apartment that wasn't my real estate agent, Hannah Petrell. So the circumstances, Fred, are totally different, brother. You're comparing oranges to a Big Mac truck. You know what I'm saying? They're not even in the same universe at all. Okay, so Mrs. Heminger says, why can't people accept bad things happen to people for no reason? It's not his fault. I did not say it's his fault, but there. And I agree with you. Bad things do happen to good people, and good things happen to bad people. But there is a certain element of causation that we add to make things better for ourselves or make things worse for ourselves. It's just like if you've never saved a dime, if you spent every dime that you've ever had, and you get to be 50, 60 years old, and you're broke, and you're wondering why you're broke and bad health and everything because you never exercised, you did this, you did all the wrong moves. You can't say, well, it's because bad things happen. No, you were a part of those bad things happening to you.
Right.
Like me, hell, I drank a lot. You know what I'm saying? If good thing my liver is still intact, but I'm not going to be saying, well, bad things happen to good people, because no, you put down the goddamn bottle. So now there's certain things that we add to certain things, to certain causes going our way for the better and certain causes going our way for the worse. I mean,
the word caution in its original definition, I found this out about a good 20 years ago, and it's one of my favorite words. The word caution in its original definition means self-bodyguard. You know how you have stars that have bodyguards and famous people that have bodyguards? The word caution means to be your own bodyguard. And what he didn't do, one of the things that he didn't do, sadly, he didn't use caution. He wasn't his own bodyguard. And because of that, the percentage of him having the outcome that he did, it raised compared to a perfect example out here. As many people know, in Cali, Colombia, we're having protests, we're having rioting, we're having madness. But when I post a video of my street, my neighborhood is quiet, the sun is shining, kids are outside playing, old people are talking to each other, because I purposely moved into an area that it is older people, that it is professional people, that there are people from the states that are older that live here. So it's not one of those areas that, in its a higher zone, Colombia is broken down to 6 zones. We're in zone 5. Now, can the police come here and act a fool and just go Gestapo out here? Yes, they can. But the percentage of them coming out here and doing that compared to what they're doing out east and out west and in other areas is a lot lower. Every night I go upstairs on the terrace and, just having some time of meditation, and I may see helicopters. As me and you were talking the other day, I may see helicopters fly over, but I haven't seen one military person other than those that walk around our area as guards. And it's it's sad. It's sad to see what's going on the other side of the city and the rest of the country. But it's good to know that me and Andrea are protected by way of the decision that I made to be cautious, to be self-bodyguard. And that's what my point is in regards to what he didn't do. He was not cautious. And the same thing that you did. You made sure that when you went to DR, you made sure your condo was in a gated community. I know you always talk about that gated community.
And still live in a gated community.
and the other thing that you said about your condo, if I'm not mistaken, you made sure that I think it was on the second floor so it wouldn't get in the flood zone.
Exactly.
Caution, self-bodyguard.
Exactly. Let me give a shout out. Thanks, Jay, for the super chat. He seemed like a good guy, but took the mindset when dealing with tenants and business owners. And that happens a lot. I'm going to tell you, because a lot of people come down here, and I deal with a lot of expats now. And they get comfortable. They get very comfortable. And they want to be a part of the community. And they want to be a part of not just being a consumer and taking, but actually supporting small businesses, Dominican businesses. And you have to know when, to cut it off and like you said, take caution, self-guard yourself, because a lot of people in DR and a lot of poor countries will take advantage of you if you open up yourself to that. And like I said, a lot of times, sometimes people are naive. Sometimes people are just happy. And if they're like, it's a little bit of money, but that's okay. But you're going to have those other people who's going to take advantage of you in every single way. We have a brother who moved into this beautiful house, with a $2 million view. I'm talking about gorgeous view overlooking the water. 2 months after he got in there, half his clothes are ruined due to mold. Now the house already had mold in it, and to get rid of mold in DR, you have to scrape that mold off, because it's all center blocks, concrete, rebar.
Wow.
And then coat it with a special coating, which is a little expensive, but you have to paint it with that as a base, and then repaint it. And then that should stop the mold for, at least a year. But evidently there was a mold problem. They repainted it, let somebody, people deposits, let them move in there, and just ruin their stuff. I mean, and it's just mold. He's just recognizing mold throughout the house, So a lot of things aren't as they appear, is my point. It was a beautiful house, moved in, $2 million view, but serious mold issue. So a lot of things aren't as we think it appears. And a lot of people do come down there with that mindset, wanting to be a part of the community. But a lot of times the community, like you said, Andre, see you as an ATM.
Yes.
And that's just fact.
Yes. The other thing is, the other mistake that he made was not building a network of people first. Like you said, you were going around asking questions, getting to know people, things like that. If you don't have that network of at least 3 people that you could say, one is an attorney, one is an accountant, another one is just a friend that could tell you no and is not afraid to tell you no. You need that. You need that network. For example, here, I often tell people, if you are going to buy real estate in Colombia, first things first. In Colombia, there is no MLS listing to compare the price of houses. They don't have good. So you know what I'm talking about. There is no list where you can go to compare the price of houses. So you have to make sure that you have a real estate person that actually knows that area. In Colombia, anybody has the right to sell you the house and receive the commission. That means that Joe Blow, that's a homeless Venezuelan dude that's living in a tent, if he introduces you to the seller and you buy the house, that Venezuelan dude who's not a realtor can actually get the commission of your house. In Colombia, anybody can get the commission on your house. There we go. See, and yeah, like the episode we talk about comparing things from DR to Colombia. And so now individuals have to realize that, okay, I have to make sure I have an English speaker. I have to make sure I have an individual that knows this particular side of town. I have to know somebody that has the ability to translate, or at least have somebody with me. Because in his other video, when he went to the notary, he was the only person in the negotiation that knew no Spanish. You're giving up $200,000, and you are the only one in your negotiations,
and don't know what the papers say.
And you know Colombian gonna look out for Colombian.
Yep. I know when I purchased my home, and I went to the closing, I told the attorney before I even got to the closing, before we even transferred the money, I said, hey, I need a separate document, everything that I signed, because I know Spanish is the official language, but I need a copy of everything in English. Yep. I said, I know the Spanish version is probably the official version, but everything that I do with that Spanish version, I want on that English version. And if there's a stamp, I want the stamp on that English version. I wanted the seller's name on that English version as well. So that way I had some recourse in case something would have happened. But like I said, thankfully, I was with reputable people and things happened and the deal moved through smoothly. But like I said, I took certain steps before even sending the money. Before wiring the money, I took certain steps. I did not know Hannah that long, but like I said, I pretty much pick up vibes from people. That's right. What I've been all my life. She gave me a great vibe. She was an expat. She explained her story, how she got there. She married a Dominican dude and moved down there all in love. Didn't work out, so this is what she decided to do. I talked, when she introduced me to Juan Perdomo. His name is all over town. I went in certain businesses and I asked them, hey, do you know anything about this guy, Juan Perdomo? And everybody had good things to say about the attorney. So like I said, and I don't want to keep repeating myself, you have to do some due diligence. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You must do some due diligence. You just can't walk in there blindly, say, here's $200,000 at the request of a woman that I met online, and do business with that person with no attorney or anything like that, because he's never said in other video that he did any dealings with an attorney. He just said he dealt straight with the guy, and he said he felt a little uncomfortable. But thanks, right? Damn, right? I don't even know how to pronounce
Ryder Clyde.
Ryder Clyde. Thanks, Ryder Clyde. Appreciate the super chat, man. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Yeah, but you gotta do some due diligence.
And when he realized that you're having a riff back and forth with the owner, and money's not put in escrow, this is, how can I word this?
Insanity.
I continue to tell people, stop leaving your common sense and customs. I don't know what it is. I don't know why people love when they go to a location to leave their common sense and customs, but I've seen them do it in Thailand. I've seen them do it in Bali. I've seen them do it in the Philippines, in DR, in Jamaica, in Colombia, in Panama, in Mexico, in Cuba. I've seen people that have so much intellect, like the brother, he was a Morehouse graduate. He was intellectual enough to save up $200,000. So he was not a dumb man at all. And as soon I call, like I mentioned to you the other day, I call when you fly over Cuba, the Bermuda Triangle of the brain. Because I don't know what it is. Once y'all start flying over Cuba, and by the time you land in Colombia or in DR, all of a sudden they the dumbest people you have ever met. It's as if they don't have no business sense. Everybody in the United States put your money in escrow. Everybody knows that you need to have your real estate attorney there or your representative there. Everybody knows that you need to have and go over that paperwork with a fine-tooth comb. Everybody knows this. But as soon as you leave the States, that common sense just somehow rushes away because you're too much in a hurry to get your dream fulfilled. that's what it was. It was dream. It wasn't a bad dream.
No,
it just he was
great.
just too. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Great. But he was in too much of a rush, and didn't. The other mistake that he made, Russ, he didn't take the time out to get to know the area, to realize the impact that he would make with replacing that restaurant that had been there for a while with a soul food restaurant. Colombians, like one gentleman said, a Colombian's palate is different from Afro-American's palate.
Absolutely.
In Colombia,
Absolutely.
you are not going to see too many barbecue spots. And so when you sit back and you name your spots spicy, barbecue, and fish, I promise you, there'll be very few Colombians coming into his restaurant if he was still alive. And the area is so bad that most Black tourists wouldn't even know his restaurant existed, because they're not going into the slums to go to his restaurant.
I'm gonna tell you, I wouldn't go into the slums to go to the restaurant either.
No.
And the brother probably, because evidently, I mean, doing a little background, the brother had a restaurant in the States and was very successful at the restaurant he had in the States. And he just decided, like you said, he had that dream, decided he wanted to pursue that dream and finish, finish that dream somewhere else. So I commend him on wanting to do that, and I think that was a smart move. Like I said, it's just the moves he did after that decision to move that were just not good. And I feel very bad for the brother. Like I said, because there's a lot of footage out there, man, and like I said earlier, man, I'm not gonna put the footage of the guy or laying out there in the street, because I want
right. That's right.
But you got to think, and I'm telling you, man, dudes don't do that in Dominican or Colombia. Dudes do it in Philippines. I mean, how many horror stories have you heard about guys buying a house, buying land in the Philippines? First of all, you gotta be married, because as a foreigner, you can't own land in the Philippines. And they marry, they marry these Filipino chicks, and they build these beautiful homes, and then the Filipino chick kicks them out. I mean, and there's nothing they could do about it, because she actually owns the house, or at least own the land that it's sitting on. Now, if you bought a condo there, then that's a whole different story. You can actually own a condo, but you cannot actually own the house and the land that it sits on. But I'm telling you, so this is not a micro. Yeah, it's too common. It's too common. There's too many lessons out there to teach you how to move when you overseas. In Colombia, people who watch your channel, they see how you and your wife move and how you invest and be a part of the community. They could watch my channel or 2,000 other Dominican channels. There's too much information out there for people to just do crazy moves. When I first did my thing, there was nobody looked at like me doing what I was doing.
Right.
And Dominican Republic. And that's why I started my channel, because I wanted to set that road path so that when brothers do decide to do that, they know exactly how to make that move. But there was nobody doing this. But there's too much information out there now for brothers to be getting got like that. It's just too much information. And if you don't want to read it, because our people are lazy sometimes, especially when it comes to reading. What's that?
Right.
If you want to hide something from black people, put it in the book. All right. But you got they could turn it on, and if they don't want to watch it, they could just listen to Audible. There's too much information to assist people, help people, not to go down that road.
Absolutely correct. One of the reasons why we started Love Crossing Borders was I wanted to follow your blueprint of recording your journey of relocation, so guys can see, okay, that's how it's done. If you're going to relocate to Colombia, okay, you need to make sure you bring this paperwork with you just in case you need it. You need to make sure that you're making money either online or you're making money back in the States with real estate that you still own, or you have savings. Okay, now you know that you can. What type of visas are there out there? what's it like to get your ID, your cellular? Because now that I have my ID, most people don't know. Once you have your Colombian ID, I can travel around all of South America except for Venezuela without a passport, and I can go how long I want. So
really,
yeah. With my Colombian ID, I can go to Brazil for 6 months, start a business, buy an apartment, and then move to Peru, and I can still keep my place in Venice. Yeah, they have like this alliance. I forgot what it's called, but they have an alliance. Once you have your ID, you don't need you can put your passport away because you can just cross the borders, all the borders, just with your identification.
Yeah, it's sort of like that Euro alliance, because I know if you got
like that.
You could go to England or Ireland or France and just start a business and move without going through. Yeah, that's fantastic, man. I did not know.
Yeah. I can go to Argentina and fly out there tomorrow morning just with my ID and be out there as long as I want. I could be there 2-3 years if I want to.
Wow.
And so then we also wanted to showcase what it's like to have a successful, positive relationship, because there's a lot of YouTubers out there in Colombia that can show you how to party, that can show you how to have fun, things like that. But there are very few channels, if any. We don't know of any other one except for one that they actually have a couple together in there. And you saw a progression. You saw when we first got the apartment. You saw when now guys will see the video when we purchased our vehicle. You'll see, you get a chance to see us traveling together to Mexico for the first time. You got a chance to see all these things that are relationship focused. And so if you want to focus on channels that show you how to have so much fun in these countries, you've got those. But if you want a channel also that can show you how to find love crossing borders while falling in love with the borders that you cross, you have our channel. And I'm constantly putting up videos on how to get discounts in Colombia, because people don't know that they have Groupon here in Colombia and they have discount websites. We do get Amazon. I just got an Amazon package for my sunglasses yesterday, actually today. And you see my little Kevin Samuel, representing, just got that from Amazon. So just in case guys so we try to show people, when you're relocating to Colombia, you're not missing anything. Now, right now, we're in something that's rare, which is almost like a civil war situation over the past week.
Well, look, we ain't gonna go into that tonight, but I promise you, if you free tomorrow, because me and Andre was talking, man, and I told him I wanted to do a video on living in Dominican Republic versus living in Colombia. So if you free tomorrow, man, let's do that video.
We'll definitely get together and talk about the time. I have a live stream that's like for an hour prior to that.
I could do it way after, because I want to watch your live stream too. So
okay, cool. Yeah.
I like Kevin Samuels.
I do too. And that's why I ask guys, do those principles apply when you are outside the country? So we're going to talk about Kevin Samuels' principles. Do they apply? And even when you don't think they apply, and that's the part, guys will sit back and say, well, I'm not a six-figure guy. I'm only a regular guy flying down the DR. I only make like $45,000 a year. So how can Kevin Samuels, your $45,000 in DR, in the eyes of those women and some of those guys out there that's lurking, is completely different from how you're seeing it. Yes. You get off that plane, whether you want to be high value or not, you are a high value person in the eyes of the locals. And so we're going to talk about how to protect yourself in regards to being a high value person in another country.
Awesome. No, like I said, brother, I want to be a part. I want to be a part of watching that. So I will not miss that myself. So we'll do.
And I have a few guys on there. I'll have Yusef Watif from Brazil.
That's a good brother.
A good brother. I have him on there. I've got a brother, Andre, Everyday Dre from Barranquilla. He's going to be speaking in regards to northern Colombia. So and giving guys insight into the fact to realize, or ladies, because they come for you ladies too.
Oh yeah.
Just as high value. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was having lunch with my cousin the other day, and I met two beautiful African American sisters, man. and one was actually talking about her and her family moving to Dominican Republic. They said they would consider it, and they said they saw my T-shirt, because I got my laptop lifestyle T-shirt on, and that we actually had a chance to sit at their table, and so the ladies are definitely making those moves too, brother. They trust me. There's about maybe 10 or 11 sisters in Puerto Plata that, they got their own little thing going on, man. And they got their own little group. Some are married, some are single, but I'm telling you, man, ladies coming down there doing their thing as well. So it's not just the dudes. You're absolutely correct. But I definitely want to be watching that tomorrow, brother. Absolutely. So what channel are you going to have that on? You going to have Love Crossing Borders TV?
Yeah, we're going to Love Crossing Borders TV. Mostly, I just finished recording a video. That's why I'm dressed the way that I am. I just finished recording a episode for tomorrow morning for Mostly Money. Right now, I'm giving away half my stimulus check. And so I'm giving away in $50 increments. And so somebody won the next $50. So I'm going to be sending that person out a cash app of $50.
All right.
And so, yeah, you got to continue to pour out those blessings out there too. And we're going to be giving away food again, because we know here in Colombia, because of what's taking place, a lot of people are losing their homes and losing food. So we decided that once again, we're going to start having fundraisers and just basically just go to the grocery store, load up. And we've got a guy that comes to our area, and he picks up the food and takes it out and disperses it into the communities.
Okay, that's great. All right, so I want y'all to join Andre tomorrow on Love Crossing Borders TV, and definitely watch that interesting show. That's going to be the end of this show for tonight. I'm gonna try to get another show in because I know it's late, but it's been a long time since I did. So I'm gonna try to do 2 in one night, man, because I'm wide awake. But I appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight, man. And just please watch yourself. Be careful. Don't trust everybody that you meet online, because everybody ain't good for you. Talk to locals. Make sure that you vet people. As we say in the military, inspect what you expect. And when you and don't think, because even if you know a little bit of Spanish, moving into the worst neighborhood is a good idea. It's never a good idea to move into the worst neighborhood. Never a good idea. It's just not. It's just not. I ain't saying you got to go out there and get the most expensive neighborhood, but it's never a good idea to move into the worst neighborhood, and certainly move into the worst neighborhood and start putting people out in the street. That also is not a good idea. Not a good idea. You're making yourself a target. Andre, you got any wisdom that you want to shed on us before we cut this?
Just in closing, that situation that happened in Barranquilla in Colombia is an isolated incident, and it really, if any of us had followed that blueprint, it could have happened to any of us. If we had literally got off the plane and followed that brother's blueprint, whether it be male or female, that could have occurred to any of us. So fortunately, it is an isolated incident. The family is still doing the investigation. The embassy is doing the investigation, because they have to go through the process of shipping the body back to the States and things like that. So they're doing a thorough investigation to find out the background of what went on. He wasn't robbed. I know the rumors out there saying that he was actually robbed. He actually was just assassinated. The lady next door said she said she saw the whole thing.
Yes, that's what the girlfriend said. It was a pure assassination. They shot and just rode off into the sunset, like they were going through a drive-through, a drive-through, Wendy's or something, man. So it's sad, very sad situation, man. But hopefully, that situation will help somebody else from that particular fate.
Right.
All right, brother.
And also have to always make sure that somebody back home in the States have your contact information you're talking to on a regular basis too. Don't come down to another country. You don't have nobody back in the States that if they need to reach out, the person who you're with or a friend needs to reach out to them. They don't have any numbers. No, that's a bad move.
No, definitely not. I got about 3 or 4 people that have emergency contacts, as well as my nephew Skrilla. He down there, and he has the keys to my house. keys to the car, and everything. So, you know,
Right.
and that's good to have somebody that trusts. Matter of fact, I got the keys to about 5 people places, man. I don't even know who keys are what.
Right.
I don't know, man. It seems like everybody dropped their bag off. I got, man, in one of the rooms downstairs, man. I got, I don't know, 6, 7 people bags. I don't even know whose suitcase it is, man. They come to town. I'm like, look, just come in the room and pick yours out. So,
Right.
I guess they don't call me Uncle Russ for nothing, man.
There you go. The man to be trusted. They can trust you.
Hey, it's a blessing, man. It's a blessing. But thank you again, brother, for sharing your wisdom and sharing your perspective of the story. I definitely look forward to watching you tomorrow. What time is that show tomorrow?
It's going to be 9 o'clock Eastern. We're an hour behind, so here in Colombia it'll be 8 o'clock, like 8:05. But it'll be 9 o'clock in Eastern in your area in the States.
All right, we definitely gonna check it out, brother. Appreciate it all of you. Peace and love, everybody, and I'll catch you on the next show. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.